BORTLE here, back from the 2021 Otokan event. We have here first place using Ignisters. My goodness. Please introduce yourself to the world, man.
Hi, I'm Tim Merritt, and yeah, this was, I guess, my first PPG event. Yeah, I got first with a at Ignister, so that was cool.
That is cool. After 6 rounds of Swiss and Top Cut, how did it feel to win this event?
It felt very like when I got to the finals seat, I was kind of like, oh, I didn't realize I was gonna get here. I was happy to make top eight, and I was kind of be content with that, and then I just kind of kept winning, so it was pretty cool.
What made you decide to use this deck for this event, though?
This is the deck I've been kind of running for the last couple months now, and it's been doing me pretty well. It got me day two for the YCS, and then it actually got me into the remote duel invitational that I'll be doing later this month. I figured I'd just do it because I'm the most comfortable with it right now, and it worked wonders. So
Oh man, nice. Best of luck to you there. Before we start into the actual deck profile, would you like to do some shoutouts?
I guess the only shout out I can think of is my buddy Alex, who kind of just tests me like every so often, like every night basically. So he kind of helped me fine tune some of the things that I had in here.
Well, without further ado, please take it with the rest of your deck profile.
First six monsters is just the Achichi and the Picari. They're your one card starters. The red one is your Stratos, and then the yellow one searches you any spell or trap. Those and I Meet You and Signet Mining all get you essentially full combo with the just the towers guy. Having one of 12 one card starters is really nice for the deck. After that, we play the two Doyon. That one is basically just a +2. It's really good in the middle of the combo and like in the grinder when you start grinding in the games. And opening it with another starters actually helps you get an even better board. So actually, if you open up any of the one card starters and any of the other Adignisters besides Danmari, you can basically end on two towers essentially, which is pretty busted. You play the one Baru for combo, and it also gets you the Danmari engrave for the negate. Hiari and Gachiri. Those ones I think a lot of Ignister players are kind of iffy about between this or just the level one Earth one, Doshin. But I think this one's really good. It helps me make the second towers, and then the Gachiri effects are very broken, and I think it's really good to keep in. And then we play the one Danmari, which is the negate. For the AI spells, I play the two Idle Reborn. I don't play the Draw 3 spell. I was playing that before. It just never came up where I would want to search it unless I drew very broken, and then it would be more bricky than anything with it. So that's why I stayed away from that. And then we have the three Ignister AI land, which is the reason this deck is very good. Basically, it lets you special summon once per attribute each of your Ignisters if your main monster zone is clear. So just repeatedly summoning things is how you kind of just explode. So the next three cards are Pot of Desires. I don't think I've seen anyone actually play this in the deck, but testing it, I found it actually very helpful because if I don't have a starter and if I banished any of my one-ofs, the only one that kind of hurts would be like the Baru or the Danmari, and even if without them, I can still make the towers just without the negate. So I figured that's better than not having anything basically. And then also if you do your combo and you do the desires at the end, you basically just try and draw into more hand traps, which can also be helpful.
For this event, did the desires like ever backfire for you? Like you just
Oh, there
mentioned?
was a couple times. I think there was once where I desires because I didn't have a starter, and then my two draws were another desires and a talents.
Oh man.
So it wasn't the best. But I still had a couple hand traps to survive. I think that turn, and then I think I ended up losing that game anyways. But and I think so, like sometimes like you'll banish the one of the colors you really want, like specifically Doyon is usually the one it really hurts to lose, or you'll run out of targets in deck to search for your Chichi or Picari. But normally at that point of the game, if you have one Doyon, you can kind of just cycle it and just kind of keep plussing from your graveyard, so it never really like was too big of an issue, I don't think. The next ones is basically just my flex spots. I played two talents, debated playing that at 3, but I wanted to have room for some back row removal, so I put the twisters in for that third spot. I have the one called by the grave to make sure my plays go through, and then for the hand traps I had the 3 Valor and the 3 Imperm. I think that's really good this format because of all the Tri Brigade basically everywhere, and then it's decent against Drytron. Not the best, but it can help stop a board, especially with multiple. And then I played 2 Ash and 2 Nib. And the reason for that is I'm very good at drawing 2 of the same hand trap. So that's why I'm playing 3 of the ones that I can use multiple per turn comparatively to Ash and Nibiru, which are either more generic or more powerful, but you can only use the one. So the second one's usually just dead in my hand. And that does it for the main deck.
As far as your extra deck goes, would you like to run it?
The extra deck's pretty standard. Well, so I am playing the Quantum Dragon, which I was actually not playing beforehand until I found the way to make 2 towers. So essentially, what the end board will look like if I have any 1 card starter and any basically of the other Ignisters, or like even the Idol Reborn will do it. Basically, it's a you'll have your 4K Arrival Cybers, and then you'll have a Quantum who's protected by Kachiri, so that'll make him unaffected by card effects. So in order for them to beat over your 4K towers, they have to beat over your Quantum, which is also unaffected, and then the first thing that'll attack it gets bounced to hand as well. I don't think I only had one person break the board, and it was a Drychon player, and it took like everything, and then after that he had basically nothing except I think one orange in hand to for the negate, and that was it. Pretty busted, I think. If I don't have a way to get the double towers, I won't usually go for it. I'll just end up the normal towers because I think it's kind of a waste of resources at that point, unless you can get the lock. And then for the other synchro, we'll pay the 1 Wing Pegasus for the combo, and then it's also an interruption if they destroy one of your cards. You play 2 of the Link 1 Dark Infant, which searches your field spell. It's basically it's like the choke point of the deck, so if this doesn't go through, it can hurt depending on what your hand is. And I definitely got hand trapped on this one a lot. I don't think I put it at 3, because once you get the field spell, you don't really need it unless you're trying to do a cheeky Link 1 with the Doyon. I do play 1 Link Spider, and that's if I do get Nibiru'd and kind of keep playing through that and clear out my or my main monster zone. We play 2 Splash Mage. One's for combo, and then the second is for going for Access Code Talker essentially, or any of the bigger links if I need to. And it's just a really good extender. We play the 1 Wicked for the combo to search the tuner. We play 1 Security Dragon, and that's just in case we get Contact Seed, or also because I'm playing Nibiru, so if I need to get it off the field, I can do it that way. We play the 1 Update Jammer. This won me a lot of games this weekend. We have 1 Dark Templar, which is your Soul Charge. Another cool thing about it, and that a lot of people don't realize, is if sometimes I like to leave him on board, and if you use him to kind of attack and destroy a monster, he gets to revive any Cybers from your graveyard. So a lot of times, like if I'm in a grindier state, I'll use my like Idol Reborn to bring him back, like beat over something little, and then I can bring back a transcode talker or an access code or whatever I'm looking for. And it can be very like it can end game sometimes. We have the 1 Fire Phoenix. This one's mainly for your I Meet You. It'll rarely come up. I think I summoned it in 1 match, and that was just because I was in a very weird game state, and I just kind of needed the recursion of it. We have the 1 Transcode Talker, 1 Access Code, and then the Arrival. So very standard. The only deviation would probably be the Quantum, which is a little less represented now.
Skimming through the side deck, well, again, you sure do love the 2 over ratios, but you can go ahead and run it.
So for the 2 ofs, it was more so I just didn't know what to put in the side deck, and I kind of kept flip flopping. I had I think contact C's. I had allied cycle readers in here, drolls. I kept like cycling things in and out. Realistically, I probably should have taken the evenlies out. Those are basically useless all weekend. Everything else kind of came in at some point. I should probably have bumped up the Lancias to 3 maybe, and then maybe something a little bit better for Drytron. I think overall it worked okay. Like I wanted the double Cosmic, the double Twin, just for those back row decks, and then IO really hurts my deck. So having the ability to chain to it is very good. I played double Forbidden Droplet and double Dark Ruler no more. That was just to kind of go through basically any combo board, Drytron, which obviously it's not the best against Drytron because they'll still have basically double orange in hand if they had full combo, and same with the Droplet. But I think it did help a lot when I had those combo matches. Let's see, Lancias were theoretically good. I sided them in. I don't think I ever saw it this weekend. Actually, no, I did see it once in a weird, what is it? Not Guru, but Gren Maju, in a weird Gren Maju deck, where I was basically in a very slow game state, and I had a tribute summon and I started beating him with the Lancia. It was really weird. He had like there can be only one macro. I was deck locked down. It was awful. But he just couldn't draw a monster, so it was just kind of whittle him away slowly. But yeah, so that was that. The Rivalry of Warlords, I think, was the MVP for the side deck. Anytime I had that and they didn't have an out, it was basically an auto win, because to out any of my towers, and even if like they hand trap me and I still had the Rivalry, it was usually good enough. Against Tri-Brigade, this is almost an auto win because they can't really do much if you lock them into what, like Beast usually is what I go for, or Beast Warrior. They can only do so much. I think I had someone just kind of do Furgit beat down for like 3 turns. Me trying to play through his hand traps before I was able to just kind of blow him out there. This is also helps you play through like in the following turns play through Nib, and then it's also how to play around Kaiju's because they can't Kaiju you at that point either.
Post Dawn of Majesty, do you see anything in there that could utilize this deck to, do a lot better? Or
I haven't looked at a lot of Dawn of Majesty. I don't really think so. There isn't too much really to change. I don't think this deck's probably not going to get any more help until maybe like the Deco Talker Heat Soul comes out. Until then, it'll probably be pretty similar game styles, I think.
oh man, that sounds really spicy. Well,
Yeah, of
well, congrats again on your first place, man,
thank you. Of
and thank you again for being on the channel.
course.
And listeners, if you're not a part of BORTLE Nation, sub for BORTLE. It's that easy and it's free. Oh god, yes. BORTLE out.